afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to this BizTalk. My name is Wally Rada. I'm your host for today's BizTalk. Today, we're going to be talking about diversity and how managing diversity can increase productivity in today's business economy. Welcome to today's session. Does anybody here know what I mean by the word diversity? What does diversity mean? Does it mean being able to work with people of all ages, all colors, all race, all religion? Or does it mean controlling what age, how high, how tall, how big, how small, or what color or religion somebody is? All of these things play an important role in being able to provide a diversified workplace. Diversified workplace today is the only way to ensure productivity at its maximum. People today consider diversification or diversity in the way you manage your most valuable asset, your people, to be a critical path to the success of any business organization. Let's go to today's PowerPoint and let's talk about diversity. So we're talking about workforce diversity and how to manage the workforce and diversity in the workforce. Because without diversity, you will have no productivity. Okay, let's go on. Diversity. What is diversity? Well, ladies and gentlemen, diversity is basically a principle or a term or a practice that includes what we call respect. People don't get respect automatically. You need to earn respect. If you want to be respected by others, you need to earn their respect. And that comes through mutual respect. Each person, each individual, each one of you is different. You look different, you wear your makeup different, you wear your hairstyle different, you speak differently, you are born to different parents. Each person is unique. Each person is an individual. Each person is different. And that's the way life is. That's the reality. What are elements of diversity? Please, I ask you all to focus. Stop playing with your phone, J-Cell. Please focus on today's lecture. Don't play with your phone. Look at the screen and focus on today's lecture, please. What are the elements of diversity? The elements of diversity are one's age, one's gender, one's ethnicity. Ethnicity, or ethnicity as some people pronounce it. Ethnicity relates to your ethnic background or the country you were born in. Your race, your physical ability, whether you're disabled or not, your sexual orientation, whether you're male or female. Other characteristics it focuses on are your income, your education, whether you're married or single, your religious beliefs, your geographical location, your parental status, whether they're rich or poor, and your type of personality. Are you an outgoing personality? Are you an eccentric personality? Or are you somebody that likes to keep private and you don't like to mix with others? What sort of personality do you have? Let's ask ourselves, do you care about the race, the color, or the religion of people who work for you? You shouldn't. Do you care whether your fellow employee is heterosexual or homosexual? You shouldn't. All people deserve equal respect. Their private lives as to whether they're heterosexual or homosexual should be their belief and not yours. Everybody has their own beliefs. Everybody is different. Whether they're short or tall, whether they're beautiful and look like a supermodel, or whether they're just average people, they still deserve the respect or the mutual respect. They still deserve that you recognize diversity and treat them equally. What is required of you as young business people, as entrepreneurs, in managing diversity within the organization that you're going to start or the organization you are working for? By academic terms, when we say manage diversity, we're talking about the action of planning, implementing, the systems within our business or organization, and the practices to ensure we are able to manage people so that the potential advantage of diversity are maximized while its potential disadvantages are minimized. We have to make sure that the people who work for us understand what the elements and the objectives or characteristics of diversity are. We want to make sure that the people who work for us know how to deal with someone who happens to be homosexual and working in the same department. If somebody is short and not tall, they should treat them as an equal. They should not look down at them because they're short. If somebody is not normal, they are physically impaired, their hand is shorter than the other hand, or one of their fingers has been cut off, or they're physically impaired, they still need to be given the deserved respect and respected as another member of the team. They should not be looked down at or mistreated accordingly. Diversity as an asset to any business. Why is diversity an asset to any business? Diversity, ladies and gentlemen, creates creativity and innovation. It stimulates creativity and innovation in your organization because people of different race, people of different color, people of different sex, people of different ethnicity, people of different nationality, people of different religion, people of different color, people of different sexuality, homosexual or heterosexual, they all think differently. They all see the world from a different perspective. All of this provides for a better image, better problem solving, greater system flexibility, and a more effective and happy workforce. It is imperative that diversity is a basic ingredient of any business. It's absolutely imperative. As you know, recently in the United States, companies are suing or being sued. Companies are being sued by people who have been caused a lack of diversity. People who feel they have been sexually abused, they have been discriminated against, or fired simply because of their sexual belief or type of sexuality. In the United States, people are being fired because they're heterosexual. People are being fired because they're homosexual. People are being fired because of their color or religious beliefs in France. At one point in France, if you were Muslim, no one wanted to employ you. But sooner or later, companies realized by the minute that you actually basically say to someone, I'm firing you, and that person can prove that he or she was fired because of their religion or because of their religious beliefs or because of the geographic location they live in or because of their race or because of their ethnicity, ladies and gentlemen, that company then learned that diversity is something they have to observe and manage. You can't fire someone because of their ethnicity. You can't fire someone because of their race. Ethnicity or race, the type of their ethnicity they have, the fact that they're Lebanese or Greek or Italian or German cannot be a reason for you to disadvantage or mistreat or look down at an employee. So again, by being able to manage diversity and ensure diversity in the workplace, you're basically creating an asset. And this asset will protect your most valuable asset, your people, your people. Let's talk about that. Can anybody here give me an example of them having witnessed being mistreated and their diversity or the ability to work for a company who recognizes diversity has happened to some of you? Has anybody here felt that your company or your employer does not recognize diversity or does not manage diversity within your organization? Can anybody share their experience with me? Anyone want to put their hand up? Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. I want to hear from someone. Okay, I have a hand up from Esther. Esther Cocker, go ahead. Are you there, Esther? Would you like to talk to me? Open your microphone, Esther. Are you there, Esther? Okay, Esther's not there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Esther. Can you tell me about
Like,
what you understand by diversity?
yes, like me, what I've witnessed, it happens to me. I went to apply for a job because here in Cyprus, because I'm black and also I cannot
Yes.
speak Greek, so they
Yes.
didn't accept me
So what was the reason? What happened?
because I'm black and then I
Okay.
cannot speak.
Well,
Yes.
that is known as discrimination against color or race or ethnicity, or religion, anything like that. Ethnicity is your race, your color, or the country you come from, and you can sue that employer for discrimination. Are you aware of that?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Any employer who discriminates by refusing your job because of your color, your nationality, your race, your religion, your sex, your sexual belief, anything like that, or the country you were born in, is discriminating. If they do it and you can prove they can do it, you have a cause to take them to court and get compensated. All right, Esther?
Yes, sir.
And Esther, any company that is respected, any business that wants to be respected should be reminded that you're refusing me a job because of my color. That is discrimination. Okay. And you should always approach jobs, Esther, with an open mind, because the majority of employers now will not discriminate. It's very rare, but those who do deserve to be taught a lesson and be taken to court. They deserve for you to make a complaint against them, or you can just go to social media and blog that you applied for a job in this company and you refused the job because of your race, color, or religion. But you need to do that so that people will learn to stop discriminating and stop deliberately avoiding what's known as diversity. Do you understand where I'm coming from, Esther?
Yes, sir.
Good girl. I'll talk to you again shortly. Thank you. It'd be great if you could
Okay.
open your camera, Esther. Thank you. Okay. Who else would like to talk to me? Anybody else would like to talk to me? Hi, Amy. Would you like to share an example of diversity? Welcome back, Amy. Nice to see you again. Good afternoon.
Hello,
Hi.
sir. Good afternoon.
Tell
Can
me
you hear
what.
me now?
Yes, I can. Of course, I can. What experience have you had with diversity?
Actually, this is common in the Philippines. We have the gender thing. You know, if you are a gay, if you belong to LGBT, some people discriminate you or common at work because
That is
they
that is
said,
something that was common in the Philippines,
yes,
homosexuality
yes,
or heterosexuality, which is now, it's common in all countries, even in Australia, England, Singapore. Most countries have it. And if employers still discriminate about heterosexuality or homosexuality or somebody's sexual beliefs or sexual behavior, then that company is liable to face action in court. All right. Now, the only countries where that becomes difficult are countries like Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, because they are not ruled or governed by international law. They're governed by their own Islamic law, which is a bit different. So if you are living by international law, by common law, not Islamic law, it is quite acceptable that companies should respect people's sexuality. Now
sometimes, sir.
more than
It's
ever, if you fly Philippine Airlines, I'm not sure if you flew Philippine Airlines 10 years ago, but I used to fly Philippine Airlines on business every week to the Philippines 12 or 15 years ago. And the guy that used to look after me in the first class cabin was not straight. He was gay. All right. And when I boarded his plane, he knew me and came and sat next to me and put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Mr. Wally, it's good to see a Philippine Airlines regular customer." Now, there's two ways I could have reacted. I could have got offended. I could have smiled and respected him. And you know what? The days when he wasn't on board the flight and I boarded Manila to London on Philippine Airlines, it was a beautiful aircraft. The food was great. but the service was not there because he wasn't there. And the young guys could not provide the care and affection that he provided. And I'm happy to say that I flew Philippine Airlines about back in January, I think, from memory, and it was a short flight to Manila. And I see that they no longer discriminate, that diversity is now common. And I hope that you as young businesswomen, you as young entrepreneurs can start educating your companies that to discriminate based on any issue of diversity is basically a gateway to a lawsuit. And it's not only a lawsuit, people might not be able to afford a lawyer, but it's a gateway to a bad reputation. And you know, Amy, people don't have to go to court. All they need to go is to somebody place like Job Street or Glassdoor and write their experience about working for that company. Anybody can go to Glassdoor and say that I applied for a job with company ABC and this is how they discriminated against me. Before you know it, everybody who wants to apply for your job will stop applying because Glassdoor is an international website that provides reviews of the way companies treat people. And today, more than ever, the younger generation, including yourselves, they know if I'm going to apply for a job with Philippine Airlines, I should go to Glassdoor or Job Street and see what the reviews are. Do you understand where I'm coming from, Amy? Good girl. I'll talk to you again shortly, Amy. All right? Okay. Does anybody else want to talk about that? Let me give you another example of diversity. The US military. When a male joins the US military, there is a rule that the first haircut they get is very, very short, 0. And in previous years, females used to be required to cut their hair so it only reached their cheek line or neckline. But after the US courts found out that it's discrimination, providing the girl ties her hair up and her hair does not hang loose, the US military cannot force her to cut her hair because she's not a male. All right? Now, it was seen that the courts agreed that females, if they tie their hair, then they will not perspire, and the chances of them getting their hair tangled when they climb ropes or jump walls or use machine guns is less. So now the US military, the US Navy, the US Air Force does no longer make it compulsory for women to cut their hair. They allow them to tie their hair up as long as it doesn't hang below their cheekbone. So that is a sign of a government seeing its way through diversity. Let's talk about another example of diversity. 10 years ago, it was unheard of for a female to join the US Air Force and fly bomber jets. Now, because of sexual discrimination, you have females flying jets and blowing up countries or dropping bombs. 20 years ago, it was unheard of to have a female flying a passenger aircraft like a Philippine Airlines Boeing 737 or 747. Now, Philippine Airlines have pilots and first officers who are females flying their passenger aircraft because they learned that females can do the job just as well as males, if not better. But many years ago, when your parents were born, there was always a belief that flying a plane was a man's job. But now, more than ever, females can do the job better than males. Does everybody understand that? Do you understand that, Amy? Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, when I was a young guy, I wanted to become a James Bond. I wanted to be a Secret Service agent. So I had this stupid idea that if I joined the Australian military, with my degree after I graduated, I could become a James Bond. So I went to military training as an officer for 3 months. There were 16 guys and 5 girls in my squad. Do you want to know the truth? That the 5 girls were top of the class, not only in shooting, jumping from a parachute and going into a gas chamber, even in any other exercise, whether it was physical, whether it was swimming, whether it was basically military law, The females in the squadron were the 5 highest scorers in that squadron. Okay? Out of the 21 people that went through that training, 7 of us dropped out after completing the training because we decided that we couldn't work in the public service sitting at a desk reading newspapers, because to become a Secret Service agent, you had to sit in an office and cut newspaper articles for the first 6 months. And these articles are about politics and what the world is doing, and you had to write little stories in the computer so all the secret agents could read them. I couldn't do that. I didn't want to be a desk clerk. However, the 5 girls were posted to secret agent positions all over the world the day they were graduated. They walked around like Maxwell Smart with a gun in their pouch, dressing up in different costumes and spying on other countries. I couldn't do it because I wasn't good enough as a male. All right. Now, I'm not saying that all males are not good enough, but I only did it. And after my 4th month, I gave up and I got a job with a big company and I started earning $15,000 a month. All right. But let me just tell you that for me, the fact that women can do the job just as well as men is a real fact. It's a fact of life. And if there's any males here that don't believe that, for the love of God, start believing it. Because if you don't believe that, you're living in the wrong world. No, it's true, Amy, believe me. Amal, that's a fact. Amal, are you awake, Amal, or are you asleep? Good girl. I want you to wake up, Amal. All right. So does everybody understand what I'm talking about? Okay, good. Let's go on with our presentation today. Okay, so we've looked at diversity as an asset to any business. We've agreed that diversity stimulates creativity and innovation. By having females work with males, females bring new ideas and a new touch to the business. Better service to diverse customers. If we have diversity in our organization, then that diversity will be recognized by our customers, and we will probably have different customers come to us. For example, if we have gay or homosexual people as flight attendants on our planes, more gays, more homosexual passengers might fly with us. If we treat people from different religions, people with disabilities in our business and let them work with us, that could attract more customers. That could give our organization a better branding image and make our company a better workforce for many people to come and work for us. Even though our salaries are lower, but it will encourage people to work for us because we respect diversity. Let's talk about workforce diversity. The first one is gender, and this is a big problem. It was a problem for the US military. It was a problem for airlines for many years, not allowing women to work in the cockpit, but only telling women they could only apply to be flight attendants, people that collect trays and serve food on planes. They told women that they weren't good enough to take responsibility for a 737 with 300 passengers, or a 747 with 500 passengers. It's only in the last 20 years that airlines were challenged, and now women have equal rights to fly aircraft. In actual fact, female pilots are said to be more careful than male pilots. It is also a fact of life that women hold 12 to 15% of all corporate office jobs in every country of the world. In some countries, including Singapore, the percentage of women can even go up to 30%, because all Singaporean males are 2 years behind their female counterparts. Because when a male graduates university in Singapore, he or she must serve their country under military conscription. They must serve as soldiers for 2 years. So in those 2 years, young females already got the job and got promoted. So in Singapore, there's a higher number of Singaporean females with more senior corporate jobs than there is males. And that's a fact. And that's because the females get in earlier and get promoted sooner because of their ability. So discriminating against females is something that should no longer be done in today's economy. because men and women should be treated as equals. Let's look at work diversity based on race and ethnicity. In 1998 to 2008, growth rates for the US working population were as follows. White people, there was only just under 1% in promotion. For Black people, 2.0 or just under 2.0%, 1.8% growth in the number of people that started work. For Hispanics, okay, 3.0% of Hispanics got work. So let's talk about that. What was the growth? There was only less than 1% growth in the number of white people that got jobs. There was only less than 2% of Black people that got jobs. But there was some more than 3% increase in the number of Hispanics that got jobs in the US working population. Why is that? Because companies in the US finally realized that if you discriminate against me because of my color, I'll take you to court. If you discriminate against me because of my ethnicity, because I am Hispanic, you will be sued. Just because of my ethnic background, my nationality, my ethnicity doesn't justify you not giving me a job. So since 1998 and up to now, 2023, it is even more and more reality that the number of job growths in the United States for white people as late as December 2021 is now only 1.5%. The rate of growth for Black people in December 2021 was just under 2.5%, and the rate of growth in Hispanic working population in the United States at the end of 2021, December 2021, was just below 4%. That is how serious race, ethnicity as part of job diversity or workforce diversity have become important. Companies have now realized that they can be sued. Let's talk about workforce diversity based on capabilities and disabilities. Disabilities because somebody is disabled, because somebody has been diagnosed by AIDS, is illegal. Providing reasonable accommodation to accommodate people with disability, wheelchair access, or toilet basins for people who are short is now a common must for all companies in office buildings. All office buildings built today accommodate disability. Promoting non-discriminatory workplace environment is a must if you want people to actually choose you as their preferred employer. Everybody in the organization should know that working with people with AIDS is not going to mean they get infected unless they make contact by kissing or blood sharing, etc. But just because somebody has AIDS, it doesn't mean by them working in the same office, you will get infected. And it's important for people in any organization to be educated on respecting people with disability and AIDS. It's important that you educate your fellow employees that AIDS cannot be transmitted just by working in the same office. AIDS can only be transmitted by saliva, blood, or any other form of direct contact, kissing, or whichever other form of contact you have with a person who suffers from AIDS, but not by just working with them in the same room. Let's talk about workforce diversity based on religion. India is a multicultural country. India now accommodates different religious beliefs. Sikh, Buddhist, all sorts, Hindu, they have at least 4 or 5 different religious beliefs. Okay, so in India, people from different cities in India have different religious beliefs. Some of them believe in Hinduism. Some of them believe in Buddhism. Some of them believe in being from other religious corners of India. India respects all religions. India provides flexible time off for holy days, not only to the main Hindu culture, but to all the different Indian religious beliefs in India. Posting holidays for different religions on company calendars is now a legal requirement in India. So not only do the Hindus celebrate Hinduism, not only do the Buddhists celebrate Indian Buddhism, not only do different Indian temples celebrate their own beliefs, but it is now compulsory for companies to respect each and every one of those beliefs. That is called workforce diversity. In France, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there was this thing about not allowing women to wear scarves if they work in a public service office or work in a company which deals with different nationalities. However, that law had to change because under international law, it was seen as discriminatory. Now, students can wear scarves, Muslim students can wear headscarves, and companies employ women with headscarves because of workforce diversity. Let's talk about how diversity in an organization keep a competitive human resources advantage for that company. If you practice diversity, it will improve your company's corporate culture. It will improve the morale of the people who work for you. It will make it easier for you to attract talent and recruit employees. It will enable your company to move into emerging markets because you're able to see through diversity. Countries like Africa, countries like South America, where AIDS plays a large percentage representation of the younger generation and it's spreading, providing you can handle that, you are able to go into those markets and either open office there or recruit from those markets, providing you can deal with diversity. Access to overseas markets and more availability to different talent from different countries, and able to see a reduction in skill shortages because you're now able to hire people from different religions, different ethnicities, different age groups, different religions, different nationalities, different geographical locations. By doing that, you promote a more open relationship with your clients and probably will increase your client exposure, and you will have more clients based on your fact of your openness to diversity. By increasing productivity, increasing your client count and the average spending dollar by your clients, you will improve your organization's bottom line and profitability. You will maximize your brand identity, and your responsive service delivery to your customers will go through the roof. And by doing that, it means your staff will be more competent because you have more experienced people working with you. Let's go on and talk about that. Does everybody understand what I've explained so far about diversity? Does everybody understand what I've explained? Would anybody else like to give me an example of how diversity in their country is not practiced based on what we've spoken about? Can anybody share any examples with me, please? Who would like to try? Who would like to try? Come on. Put your hand up. Come on, you need to actually get involved in the lesson so you can learn. Don't sit there like monuments, please. I want you to learn. I'm here to teach, not to look at you and smile at you. Wake up, everyone. Okay, let's talk to Maria Susan Ramoso. Hi, Maria. Good afternoon. Welcome to BizTalk. Tell me, what is your experience with diversity?
Yeah, for me, also same in the Philippines. Is a working is the same like a prostitute. Yeah, it's a working place that all people they're thinking is a bad girl like this because they're working for the. Of course, they were thinking is only bad, but for the other people working in this place, of course, they're helping to the family like that. It's not only for bad things, for sex or for the money only like this, because they have purposes. But the other people, yeah, the other people, they thinking like this is a bad girl, is not good, or the for the inside like this.
Perception is something we have to live with, but it does not mean that the company shouldn't practice diversity. Because if you as a company promote diversity, eventually people will change perceptions. The biggest deterrent to perception is when companies do not act with diversity. If a company says, I don't want to employ that girl because she's homosexual, she's got a girlfriend, and that would give us a bad reputation, then all its customers will start agreeing with it. The minute that that company says, I employ diversity and I don't care about sexual beliefs or sexuality. I employ girls with red hair, blue hair, green hair, black hair, short hair, long hair. And when customers realize that all of these things don't matter, that they're still receiving the service they enjoy, then that perception will change. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I do know, Maria, because I've been to the Philippines several times, that perception based on what you're talking about is a very difficult obstacle. And I know the Philippines is working very hard on changing that. And I know now with young Filipinos like yourself and the younger workforce that's coming up, I'm confident that that will change because the Philippines has diversified so much and its economy is growing. And hopefully it will keep growing now that it has a new government. But you need to be open-minded, Maria. And I know it's hard sometimes, but you need to keep telling your employer as a younger generation Filipino that it's time that we changed. It's time that we tried. Because the minute we try, we're going to open the door to so many more customers that right now don't come to us because they know that we don't employ this color, this race, this religion. You understand where I'm coming from, Maria?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. Okay, thank you. Let's talk to someone else. Let's talk to whose hand went up next? Okay, Raquel's hand went up next. You need to bear with me, Dennis. Okay, Raquel, good afternoon. Raquel, welcome to today's
Sir, good
session.
afternoon.
Tell me, what experience have you had with this idea of diversity?
I experienced, yes, sir. When I work in a luxury brand, those makeup and perfumes, 2007 to 2015. There are some brand, like for example, it's a Clinique brand. I believe Clinique is, if not European, it's an US brand. And this lady, she's been hired. She's a Syrian somehow. This particular brand don't accept lady wearing hijab or covering their hair. Yeah, and they're saying that he has to remove her hijab or scarf while working. And then she started to cry, and eventually she's been terminated because of that.
Well, if that was to happen today, the company would be sued because it's discrimination against sex or discrimination against religion, ethnicity. Okay, so those sorts of things can only be overcome once the company itself realizes that. But if the company doesn't practice diversity, then what she will do is she will go and tell all her Muslim friends, and eventually the brand will lose all its Muslim customers. So it will cause damage to the brand. You understand where I'm coming from, Raquel?
Yeah, yes, sir. It happened, and then when she's been terminated, a couple of years after that, and they do hire lady with wearing hijab.
Absolutely. Yeah. In actual fact, any company in the world can be sued for discrimination if they don't. Thank you for your input, Raquel. Thank you. Let's go to the next person who put their hand up. Where's Dennis? Are you there, Dennis? Hi, Dennis. Okay, you're next, Dennis. Go ahead, Dennis. How can I help you? Go ahead.
Yeah. Good
go
thing
ahead.
about diversity. Yeah, before in our company, we just worked as all men. Now we hire ladies for the encoding.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do a good job. Would you agree with me?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah,
Thank you,
good.
Dennis.
That's it.
They deserve the same pay as men.
Exactly.
They should be paid based on their ability, not on their sexuality.
Exactly.
Would you agree?
Yeah,
Amen.
agree.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right.
Thank you.
Now it's open.
Yeah, go ahead, Dennis. Sorry. Unmute yourself again. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, go on.
No, just right now in Saudi Arabia, most of the Saudis here, especially women, they can hire anywhere.
Yeah.
Unlike before, It's
Yes.
you know,
And
very
I think
limited.
that's a credit to the young prince in Saudi Arabia who
Yeah,
has a very open mind.
doing
And
too well. Yeah,
yeah, and I think women can drive now. Am I right?
exactly. Yeah,
Right.
that's the
Many
thing.
years ago, females were
Mm.
not allowed to drive cars in Saudi Arabia, and the world was saying that Saudi Arabia discriminated against sex. Now women can drive. Women have the
Now
same freedom as
almost.
men, and it's about time. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you so
welcome,
much.
sir.
Okay. Let's go to the next person with their hand up. I think it's Jelani. Jelani or Julio. Hello, Jelani. Can you unmute your microphone? Go ahead, Jelani. Are you there,
Yes,
Jelani?
sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, one of the experience that I had was when I was with a food chain company before. That was 2003 or 4, I guess. So they are discriminating those who have tattoos. They are not hiring those who have tattoos. But now here in the Philippines, they are now continuously or starting to hiring those people who have tattoos. And we already have here BPO companies who's also LGBTQ are welcome to apply or to enter the company.
And that's what they need to do to attract, lesbian and gay customers. Because the minute you say we don't hire these people, then the customers who have the same sexual attraction will not come to you, will not buy from you. And it's crazy if you don't. You need to do it. And, tattoos or not, providing you provide them a uniform, a shirt to cover their tattoos, they still deserve equal pay and equal rights. Now, come on. Who knows? I have a tattoo. I don't. But if I had, you wouldn't know because my shirt would cover it. I don't believe in tattoos because I'm afraid of needles and the pain that you go through getting it. That's one of the reasons why I've avoided them. But, I have colleagues with tattoos all over their arms and legs. But when they wear a long shirt, I couldn't tell the difference. Just because they wear a tattoo doesn't mean they're substandard. You understand what I'm saying? Good. Excellent. Thank you. Let's talk to Jaysel Joy Villa. Hi, Jaysel, are you there? Good afternoon, Jaysel. Go ahead. Yeah, hi,
Hello,
Jaysel. Nice
sir.
to see you again. Go
Thank you
ahead.
so much. My pleasure. Well, my insight is about the advantage we're getting from, practicing diversity when it talks about nationality, the genders. So
Yes.
here in UAE, I believe that majority knows that this is an open country, and we
Yes.
have like an existing company. We are dealing with the mandatory services by the government. We have the cleaning company, and we're
Yes.
open to hire different nationalities. So now we have staff like coming from Bangladesh, coming from Africa, Philippines, and even India.
It's a happy work environment. You
Yes,
find people interact and enjoy
yes.
it.
And even
Thank
they
you,
help
Jay.
with the marketing.
Thank you, Jaysel. Let me tell you, in my former company in shipping, which I was deputy head of HR, or senior executive vice president HR, and I was one of the first that tried to tell my CEO to have females on our ships, female officers. Now there is probably 30% of 17,000 officers who are females. They work harder than males. Now we have Bangladeshi, Iranian, Indian, South American, Russian crew on ships. I'm no longer with them on my former company's ships. And these people are more productive and they create a more happy work environment than ever before. So having a multicultural work environment, having multiculturalism in your number one most valuable asset, your people, will encourage productivity. It will generate new ideas and you will have a happier workforce. It will also attract more customers from different countries. All right. Thank you so much for that, Jaysel. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. All right, let's go on. I need to move on with my PowerPoint. Oh, sorry, let me talk to one more person. Hi, Aseta. Sorry, Aseta, I didn't see your hand go up. Go ahead, Aseta. Hi, Aseta, where are you coming from today? Which country are you in?
Hi, so I'm originally from Fiji, but I'm in New Zealand.
Okay,
so,
great. Tell me, what is your experience with diversity?
So my experience is so I've been reading an article here in New Zealand in regards to tattoos. Therefore, the air hostess, the air flight attendant. So because of their culture, they have that Maori tattoo on their
Yes.
so now they have accepted that they can apply for flight
Yeah, I believe
attendant.
many years ago, Air New Zealand faced a lawsuit for discriminating against that culture, Maori culture, or some sort of body tattoo. And I believe that the New Zealand courts ruled for the people. So I believe now airlines are employing people certain physical marks. Because let me tell you, it's part of their, I mean, who does New Zealand belong to? New Zealand belongs to the Maoris. I mean, the Maoris founded New Zealand. It's just like the Aborigines. Australia is their land. We white people live on land that belongs to Aborigines, but we treat them with respect, and they live as part of the community, and we're one nation, one people. The same as Singapore. Singapore has Singaporean Chinese, Singapore Indians, Singapore Malays. They live in harmony. We don't discriminate. And you know, you have Malay flight attendants, you have Indian flight attendants. You have Indian flight attendants with little earrings in their nose. Singaporean flight attendants don't have earrings in their nose. So it is really important that airlines recognize that, because if airlines don't show diversity to their own airline staff, then they will lose customers, because that will spread to their customers. What's your job now, Iseta? Are you working at the moment?
I'm working at the resort as an administration.
Right. And does the resort encourage different nationalities to work at the resort?
Yes, we do. We accept all nationalities, and we experience a
find that
happy work
helps?
environment.
Does that make the customers happy when they come and stay with you?
Yes, they do. They do.
Who knows? You know, I'm going to New Zealand at the end of this year for a holiday. Maybe I come and stay at your resort. I look forward to seeing you one day. Thank you, Iseta.
Thank you.
All right, let's go on. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to my PowerPoint, if I may, please. So as we said, there is benefits in diversity, and there is reasons why diversity can basically add to an organization and help it keep a competitive human resource advantage. Okay, so through diversity, you decrease interpersonal conflict, you improve client relationships, you increase productivity, you improve organizations' bottom line, meaning its profitability, you maximize good brand identity, and you promote responsive service delivery and enhance staff skills, because you have a multicultural staff from all over the world that can deal with this multicultural base of customers. Let's talk about the possible barriers to diversity. Limiting area of consideration and saying, no, I'm not prepared to consider Muslim women. I won't employ Indians. I won't employ Pakistanis, or I won't employ people who wear headgear. That would be limitation of consideration. Lack of diverse applicant pool in STEM positions. STEM positions are basic positions that you need. STEM positions, the root, the positions that will help grow your company at each level. Ladies and gentlemen, a lack of diversity at senior ranks is also a barrier, because if there's no diversity at senior ranks, then the people at the lower ranks will not respect the senior ranks, because there is a lack of diversity. Categorizing people into certain positions, only employing Indians in junior positions or only employing Australians in senior positions, would also be a barrier. Grooming, developing only one person, okay, one person pre-selection, that would be wrong. So if you're going to groom people and train people for a promotion, you can't only choose one nationality, one person who's a Filipino. If your company employs 5 different nationalities, you would at least choose one male, one female, both of different nationalities. Or if you chose 2 females, you choose two males. You would groom all 4, then choose the best. But you can't just say this job is only available for female Filipino. You would have to say this job is available to whether male or female of any nationality, providing they have the qualifications to do the job. You can no longer discriminate, because if you do, that would be a barrier to diversity. How do you manage diversity in today's business world? You secure top management's commitment. So yes, JCell, you have to make sure that management in your company believe in diversity. If they don't agree with diversity, then no one at the bottom rank of the company will practice diversity. You have to offer alternative work arrangements for those who need to go and pray on Fridays because of their religious belief. There needs to be a mosque where they need to be given 15 minutes to pray. You need to increase diversity skills. People in India from different religious beliefs. The Indian government has made it law that the Indian companies must respect all Indian beliefs, all Indian religious beliefs or religious cultures. And that goes for all companies around the world, especially companies where they have a large Muslim base or large Muslim headcount. Muslims are becoming part of society. They always have been, and they represent a large number of people in most companies or societies. So you need to accord them the religious respect that they believe, allowing them extra 15-minute break on Friday for them to pray, or providing a mosque in the company, a room for them to pray in. The same with Indian nationalities in different parts of India. They're provided prayer areas that meet the requirements of that religion. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to attract employees. How do you attract employees? By making it known to your customers and to the world that your company does not discriminate based on sex, race, religion, color, or sexuality. You must make that clear. You need to accommodate work and family needs. For example, if JCell has 3 little kids and those 3 little kids are sick and have got fever, companies understand that JCell is also a mother. They need to honor that and respect her when she says, my kids have fever, here's a doctor's certificate, I need emergency leave, all right? They need to honor that. They need to be open and realize that different people have different needs. And as a company, if you want to earn the respect and the dedication of your staff, you also have to accommodate them respect in return. Respect is not something that is given. Respect is earned. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Everybody wave your hands. Good, excellent. All right, let's talk about diversity awareness. You need to provide members of your staff with accurate information about what is diversity. Yes, JCell, you need to educate other people in the company about diversity. Please switch on your camera, JCell. You need to uncover personal biases and stereotypes. You need to make sure that if somebody in your company walks around saying, oh, I don't like him because he's homosexual, you need to talk to that person and say, whatever your personal beliefs are, keep them to yourself. He's one of our colleagues and you must work with him. Otherwise, you'll probably lose your job. You need to work with everybody and respect everyone. You need to assess personal beliefs, attitudes, and values, and learning about other points of view. You need to educate your people in the Philippines to say that, hey, in the Philippines, people that come to work for us might be homosexual or gay. You need to accept that and work with them and respect them. They might have AIDS, but you need to educate people that AIDS cannot be spread just by working in the same office. You need to educate people before you employ people who are gay, etc., etc. If you don't educate them beforehand and make sure they understand different perceptions, then one day a gay person will come to work for you and suddenly this person will go around saying, oh, that person's gay. They suffer from AIDS, don't work with them. And therefore you'll have a problem. So perceptions and awareness are very important. Does everybody understand that? Okay, all right. Improve understanding of others who are different. So make sure your staff understand that now we employ people from different sexual backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, different language backgrounds, different nationalities. So some people might believe, that wearing a scarf because of their religion is important. We should respect them for that, because that will not change their ability to do the job or their ability to actually become part of a team. But they have to be given the mutual respect that they deserve in order for them to work hard for the company. Does everybody understand that? Can you wave your hands, please? Jeremy, can you switch on your camera and wave your hands so I know you're here and that you've just not put on your session and walked away? You're supposed to be in the class with your video camera on if you want a certificate, Jelani. Otherwise, there will be no certificate issued. Thank you. That goes for all of you. If your video cameras are not switched on, you will not receive a certificate of attendance. For you to get a certificate of attendance, your video camera must be switched on so I can see you active in the class. Just putting a picture and going away doing something else, you will not get a certificate. Thank you. What are the consequences of ignoring diversity? What are the consequences? Ignoring diversity issues means you can be sued. It will cost time, money, and a lack of efficiency in your company. Some of the consequences can include unhealthy tensions between people of different gender, race, ethnicity, age, or abilities within your company. Loss of productivities because people don't enjoy working with others, and instead of giving their maximum effort, they'll say, oh no, he's gay. Why should I make him look good? I'm just going to slow down. Inability to attract and retain talented people of all kinds because you don't practice open diversity. You will get complaints and legal actions because you've been racist or discriminated. You will not be able to retain women and people of color, resulting in lost investment in recruitment and training because you spend money to recruit and train and then they walk away. Does everybody understand that? You know, in the Philippines is another problem. Please correct me. Philippine gay women, lesbian women, now have a habit. They wear their hair just like guys, depending on whether they play the male role or the female role in their relationship. They have short hair like guys. And I know 2 or 3 years ago, I have a female friend that applied to work for Philippine Airlines as a flight attendant. And she was told because of her short hair, she couldn't work for Philippine Airlines. They didn't tell her it was because she was gay. They didn't say that because they could have been sued. They told her to go away when she has long hair and looks like a female again to come back and apply for a job. She didn't do that. She never worked for Philippine Airlines. She went to another airline overseas that employed her, Cathay Pacific in Hong Kong. All right. But what I mean by appearance, color, all of these things have to be something that you don't discriminate against. Whether the girl has long hair or short hair, she can still do the job. Her hair will not stop her from doing the job. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Considerations and warnings that we should take note of when we're actually looking at diversity. As workplaces become more diverse, employers are encouraged to take note of communication, training, and recruiting practices throughout the company's management to make sure that everybody practices diversity. Diverse workforces may be plagued with problems if employees aren't equipped with the knowledge they need to communicate effectively with their co-workers, regardless of their differences. So if you do not educate your workers to deal with people who wear scarves, or with a girl who has short hair because she's gay and she's the dominant male in her relationship, that shouldn't make a difference. Her sexuality, her sexual orientation shouldn't make a difference. She should still be afforded the respect she deserves for the job she's done or the job she can do. Allbusiness.com, an online resource for entrepreneurs, notes some businesses believe that costs of diversity are higher than its benefits because of potential issues with communicating and training. This last one, allbusinesses.com, actually had this problem. They actually published a report and said that, hold on, the cost of practicing diversity, training our staff to accept diversity is higher than what we would normal practice, okay? So basically, why should I spend extra money on training and teaching people about diversity? Because I don't see the benefits. It's cheaper not to practice diversity. That way, I don't have to teach all 500 people about how to behave in diversity. But after a while, allbusiness.com, since about 2018, when they launched this statement, has so slowly become a company that practices diversity. How do you measure whether you're getting the benefit of diversity? You measure the benefit of diversity through increased productivity in the workplace, through increased customer receptivity and more customers from different nationalities buying your product. You don't simply measure it by how much money you're spending on training. You also measure it by company brand, by loyalty to company brand, and the lack of negative comments about your brand saying that you're racist or you're not a company that practices diversity through open diversity. You don't promote open diversity. Because if you keep refusing people who wear a scarf a job, or because they're heterosexual, gay, or lesbian a job, eventually your word will get out, people will know, you will get a bad reputation in the market, your brand will be hindered and damaged, and in the long term, it can cost you a lot more money to repair your brand than maintain your brand. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Good. Let's talk about Coca-Cola. Does everybody know Coca-Cola? Yes? Jaysel, do you drink Coca-Cola? Jaysel, wave your hand, Jaysel. Okay, good. I used to drink 2 liters of Coca-Cola every morning, but I learned that I got fat because of Coca-Cola. Now I'm only allowed to drink it once a week, according to my wife. Sometimes I cheat, I drink it twice. Okay, but I love Coca-Cola. It's something that I'll never stop loving, all right? So Coca-Cola, let's look at Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola's journey in diversity. Coca-Cola Company's global diversity mission, ladies and gentlemen. You all know Coca-Cola. It's an international brand. It's one of the world's most powerful brands in the soft drink market. Look at it. It's got Fanta. It's got Sprite. It's one of the world leaders in the soft drink market. Coca-Cola Company's global diversity mission is to mirror the rich diversity of the marketplace they serve and be recognized for their leadership in diversity, inclusion and fairness in all aspects of their business, including workplace, marketplace, supplier, and community, enhancing the company's social license to operate. They make this statement public to everybody on their website. They do promotions, they do advertising in India with Indian actors and actresses. They do advertising in Russia with Russian actors and actresses. They do advertising in Australia with Australian women and Australian men. They do not discriminate. They diversify. They did an ad many years ago, okay? And it wasn't them actually, it was PepsiCo that did this ad. And this ad saw an Indian boy walk up to a Coca-Cola machine, buy a can of Coca-Cola, take that can of Coca-Cola to the Pepsi machine, stand on the Coca-Cola can to buy a can of Pepsi, and then he takes the can of Coca-Cola, puts it in the rubbish and drinks the Pepsi. Do you think that helped Pepsi sell more drinks, or they lost market? Pepsi lost market of Indian people who like Coca-Cola because they found that the ad was discriminatory against Indian kids who like Coca-Cola. It was like saying that if you drink Coca-Cola and you're Indian, you're silly, you're stupid, you're drinking the wrong drink. So within months, Pepsi had to stop that ad, cancel it, and then Coca-Cola took on an ad encouraging more Indians and people from different nationalities, different religions in India to drink Coca-Cola. Does everybody understand where I'm coming from? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Okay, come on, everybody, wave your hand. Good, excellent. Diversity is at the heart of Coca-Cola's business. They strive to create a work environment that provides all their people equal access to information, training. By building an inclusive workplace environment, Coca-Cola seeks to leverage a global team of associates or staff, which is rich in diverse people, talent, and ideas. They see diversity as more than just policies and practices. It is an important element or ingredient of the company, who they are as a company, and how they operate in the world. Coca-Cola is in every part of the world. Coca-Cola is a multicultural drink. Why is it? Because the company practices diversity. Can you imagine what would happen if Coca-Cola said, we will not employ Muslims? Then no Muslim will buy Coca-Cola. They'll lose probably 40% of their market share. It doesn't make sense, does it? Does everybody understand what I'm talking about? Good, excellent. Let's look at Coca-Cola's total US workforce only. Okay, total US workforce. Okay, this is at 31 December 2014. And since then, they have released more numbers, and I'll share those with you shortly. By gender, they employ 82% males, 18% females. By nationality or by race, 3% were unknown, 17% were Hispanic, 19% were African Americans, 3% were Asian or Pacific Islanders, 54% were white Caucasians. Let me tell you now, in 2021, December 2021, unknown is 5%, other is 7%, Asian Pacific Islander is still 3%, African American is now well over 20%, Caucasian has dropped. I think Caucasian has dropped to around 44%. So more than ever now, the total workforce for Coca-Cola has changed. It is no longer 82% male. It's more like 55% male, 45% female in December 2022. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we've just seen here is Coca-Cola. This is the reality about Coca-Cola. All right, does everybody understand that? Total US corporate headquarters. This is total US workforce. Let's talk about just their corporate headquarters. Their corporate headquarters right now in 2021, 2022, late 2021, early 2022, by gender, their corporate headquarters was around 65% male. Female was dropped a bit, okay? That's because all the females took on more operational jobs. However, now in 2023, I'm happy to announce there is something like 48% male and the balance goes to female in their corporate headquarters. As you can see, the mix, again, the mix here at corporate headquarters has increased. I'm happy to say that African American now represents some 33%, Hispanics represent some 15 to 20%, Caucasians represent the balance. Okay, we've, as you can see, these numbers have changed in 2022. The total workforce by gender, as I said, males only represent about 51% and females represent the other 49%. And in 2023, the number of Caucasians has dropped, the number of African Americans has gone up, the number of Hispanics has gone up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's summarize. By empowering your workforce to deliver sustained productivity means employing a diversified workforce that is very much an essence of every organization. If you have a diversified workforce, you are giving the flavor of your company, the image of your company to your customers. In today's world, organizations that employ quality and competitive workforce relate regardless of their age, attitude, language, gender, religion, caste, can compete at the marketplace. Because if you don't do that, you can't compete because your competitors will make it known that you don't practice diversity, that you discriminate. Therefore, your company will lack customer base, will lack productivity, will lack efficiency due to the fact that it discriminates. Human capital is one of the most important assets for any organization. Both capital and physical resources by themselves cannot improve efficiency or contribute to an increased rate of return on investment. You need both. You need both, and you need to actually make sure that you are able to diversify and avoid being considered to be racist, discriminative, or have beliefs due to sexual orientation, and allow that to stop you from recruiting the right talent and attracting customers from that same religion or same sexual belief or ethnicity. Let's talk about that. Workforce diversity includes hiring from different geographical regions, hiring people with different perceptions and attitudes, making sure that all your staff learn about diversity, that you have people speaking different languages at your company, you employ a mixed balance of males and females, gays and heterosexuals. You don't discriminate against caste or religion, and you don't discriminate on age. These are core elements of workforce diversity. To empower workforce to deliver sustained productivity, you need to remember that due to the increase in the rate of globalization around the world, companies being privatized, and the liberalization of laws in different countries, for example, Saudi Arabia allowing women to drive, we're going to see major changes in the workplace. If a company previously wouldn't allow a female to drive its car or taxi in Saudi Arabia, now the laws are changing. Gone were the days where people of same age, same professional qualification, same experience, and same religion came together to work in an organization only. Gone are the days where you said you cannot work here because you're a female, like airlines used to say to female pilots or female captains. Remember, workforce diversity will impact employees working for you, because if you practice workforce diversity, you will have the ability to recruit more employees with more skills, and that will bring impact on productivity and help you increase your customer base. In today's economy, females are also working in the equal ratio with males. As I shared to you previously with Coca-Cola, now males represent about 49%. 49.4% to be exact, and females represent the other 49.6%. So that brings you to 100% of their workforce. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, organization needs employees. Employees need to practice cordial interpersonal relationships with each other, and therefore work better with each other, motivating each other, and that will result in enhanced productivity. Productivity requires both efficiency and effectiveness, because a certain activity alone will not be productive if it is only efficient but not effective, or effective but not efficient. Very simple. I want you to remember that quote and take it with you every time you go to work. Productivity is an economic position defined as the relationship between output and input. Input element in an organization consists of the resources and how hard the people work used in the product creation process or manufacturing process or service process in your organization, such as labor, materials, and energy. So remember, you need people. You need productivity in order for you to sustain your business and remain profitable. Output consists of a given product, service, and the amount of both. The amount of output per unit or input, labor, equipment, and capital is basically part of productivity. So without the right ingredients and without the right level of productivity, you won't have the right output. A measure of the efficiency of a person, machine, factory, or system in converting inputs into useful outputs is what productivity means. So if you cannot produce enough goods to sell to your customers, if you cannot deliver the service your customers require because you don't have the right staff, the right experience due to a lack of diversity, your company will fail. There are many different ways of measuring productivity. For example, in a factory, productivity might be measured based on the number of hours it takes to produce a good or a service, while in the service sector, productivity might be measured based on the revenue generated by an employee divided by his or her salary. So if you have a waitress that actually serves 20 tables a day compared to another waitress that serves 1 table a day, you can measure productivity in a service organization. However, remember, the different ways of measuring productivity depends on the business you're in. Let's go on, please. And let's talk about how diversity can be dealt with in your organization or your country, or issues that you're facing. Tell me about them so I can tell you how to deal with them. Let's talk to some of the people I haven't heard of, some of the people that are really shy, and every week I have to call on them or they don't talk, and that really annoys me. Priya, hello Priya, you're one of these girls I always have to call on you. You never put up your hand. Hi Priya, open your microphone. Hi Priya. Unmute the microphone, young lady. Hi Priya.
Sir.
What have you learned today, Priya?
Okay, today I learned about the diversity, okay, about the culture, age, racial diversity, and gender, and how we in a workplace, how we religious diversity.
Okay, do you think that diversity adds to productivity in an organization?
Sorry, sir?
Do you think that diversity can increase productivity and efficiency in an organization?
Yes, can increase because we can work together.
Great, excellent. Thank you, Priya. I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you. Okay, let's talk to someone else. Who else am I going to call on? Okay, let's talk to Mizanur Rahman. Good afternoon, Mizanur. How are you today, mate? Talk to me, Mizanur. Unmute your microphone, mate. Hi, Mizanur. Tell me, what have you learned from our session today about diversity?
Diversity is every country needs the diversity. For example, Bangladesh 10 years ago is financial is smaller. Now is others country for Chinese, Indian people come to Bangladesh, and
Yes.
their technology give our country. So our country already day by day diversity.
Okay. I think for your country, you've made a big way in diversity, and I think it's changing every day. Thank you for sharing that. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Yes.
Have you?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that today's lesson has helped you?
Yes, of course helps.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's talk to
you,
Maria. Maria Corolla, Halabai. Hi, Maria. How are you today? Talk to me, young lady. Smile, Maria. I can't see you smiling today. Are you there, Maria? Hi, Maria. Can you unmute yourself, Maria? Hello, Maria.
Hi,
Hi. What have you learned today, young lady?
yeah, in regards of diversity in terms of sexual age and race,
Okay. Do you think it's helped you understand why diversity is important?
yes, of course. I myself work in a ladies salon wherein only ladies work, and I had the experience of that. Like my boss cannot give me a same salary as others because I'm not an Arab. So I had the experience and it made me, see how, like.
Has that changed now? Has that improved for you now? Just bear with me, please. Somebody's talking. Just bear with me. Hold on. Let me mute everybody, and then you open your microphone again. Just hold on, please. Okay, can you open your microphone again? Go ahead. Are you there, Maria? Open your microphone again. Are you there, Maria? Hello? Unmute your microphone again, please. Are you there? I'm sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hello,
go
sir.
ahead. I'm sorry, I couldn't
Yeah.
hear you. Go ahead. Can you repeat what you said?
For me, sir, it's my ad-
Your
it's on my
company?
only adding for the people or the range in a different social or ethnic
Yes.
backgrounds and the different gender, social
Yes.
or orientations, etc. Like
Right,
this.
okay. But
Yeah.
has today's lesson helped you? Have you learned anything from it?
Yes, sir.
Good on
Yes,
you.
yes.
Talk to
For
you
the
soon.
repeating,
Thanks,
yes.
Maria. Thank you.
Welcome,
Goodbye.
sir.
Okay, let's talk to someone else. Cheryl Luang. Hi, Cheryl. What have you learned from today's session? I like your microphone, Cheryl. What have you learned today? Go ahead. Hi, unmute your, okay, can you unmute your microphone? Go ahead, Cheryl. What have you learned from today's session?
Yeah, I've learned about the benefits and then the disadvantages of a company that are not diversified. Like some companies aren't like they aren't accepting some cultures and some races. So there are some disadvantages about it.
Okay, so give me a disadvantage of not being a company that practices diversity.
I can say that company that are not diversified, so the employees are not, they don't have unity and unhappy as well. And
Good.
it's not productive as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Thank you. Talk to you again soon. Thank you. Let's go to someone else. Let's go to Manot. Hi, Manot. Hi, Manot. Open your microphone, Manot. Tell me, Manot, what have you learned today, Manot? Are you there, Manot?
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening. What have you learned today, Manot?
Yes, all about diversity, like and the productions and everything.
I can't hear you, Manot. What have you learned today?
Can you hear me, sir? Is it
Yes, I
clear
can now. What have you learned today?
Yes, all about the products and the diversity and the the way the company works and everything like that, sir.
Great,
So
excellent.
Yes, it helped me understand. So, like, it helped me understand all about the diversity, the unity, and the how we should work in a company, and we should not discriminate or any racial and like that.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you for telling us that. Thank you, mate. All right, let's talk to the next person. Abdurrahman Muhammad. Hi, Abdurrahman. Are you there, Abdurrahman? Can you unmute your microphone? Hi, Abdurrahman. What have you learned about diversity today?
I plan more about the diversity of employees. If the company is working a lot of diversity workforce, the more the customers will get a more customer, and also the people, the reputation of the company will be higher and higher, right, because there's no discrimination here.
Great, excellent.
And also a lot of diversity.
Good, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's great. Good, excellent. You've benefited. Thank you. Let's talk to who is it? Anna. Could you mute your microphone again, please? Okay. Anna, hi, Anna. Can you tell me what have you learned about diversity? Anna Lira Beloso. Hi, Anna. Can you unmute your microphone?
Hi, sir. Good morning. Good morning. I learned a lot about diversity, and I had an experience.
Yes, go ahead.
It's about, I'm 34 years now working here in Italy, in Rome.
Yes.
And sometimes way back 20 years ago, I worked as a cleaner in a dental clinic.
Yes.
And it happened that our secretary and the dentist assistant got sick, and so I substitute her at her work.
Yes.
But it ran for 12 years. I work in laboratory, learning how to sterilize instruments and
right,
and other things in laboratory. So when the dentist who got on pension,
Yes.
I asked for a referral letter, and
Yes.
he told me that since I was hired as a cleaner, I don't have any rights to make a laboratory work.
Okay. What have you learned? So have you learned more about what diversity is today?
To
So
work in
has today,
laboratory because it has
have you
yeah,
learned more about diversity today?
yeah, but I had sued him if it had happened this time. Uh, I know I was discriminated at that time, but 20 years ago, it's not
Now you
that
know what
efficient.
discrimination is and you know how to avoid it.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you very much,
After
Anna. Good to see you. I'll
1990,
see you at the next BizTalk. Thank you, mate. All right, let's talk to someone else. Let's talk to Jonah Zaspa. Hi, Jonah. Go ahead. Can you unmute your microphone, Jonah? Hi.
Hi, sir. Good
Tell me,
evening.
how have you experienced discrimination? What did you learn about diversity?
Let me ask first, sir.
Go ahead.
Philippines.
I can't hear you, mate. Your microphone is not working. Yeah, I think there's something wrong with your network. I'll come back to you, Jonah. Okay, let's go on. Are you there, Jonah? Are you there, Jonah? Jonah? Okay, I think there's something wrong with Jonah's microphone. Let's talk to someone else. Give more, Jarimani. Hi, give more. Are you there? Go ahead, Jarimani. Give more. Mr. Jarimani, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you? How can I help you? Tell me, how have you found today's lesson about diversity?
Okay, as for diversity, I learned something like on employees. I heard you say the employment rate on gender.
Well, no, what we're saying is you should not discriminate against gender. You should employ both gender. You shouldn't choose only one gender. Because if you discriminate and only employ men, you're not practicing diversity. Go ahead.
Yes, and then you said your employees have to be trained.
Well, employees should understand diversity, yes.
And then I learned that there is this ratio, like you were saying, Coca-Cola.
Yes, go ahead.
Like you were saying, the rate of Coca-Cola employees were like this and this and this. So statistics, I learned that in diversity, you have to practice statistics.
Of course, because diversity doesn't only diversify the company, but it helps them diversify and meet the likes of their customers in a global market. Coca-Cola is in every country in the world, so they can't afford to discriminate. Otherwise, they will lose customers in different countries. So that's why diversification for Coca-Cola is really important. The actual fact to promote that they are a company that practices diversity, not only with their employees, but their customers, is critical for the success of the Coca-Cola product. Do you understand what I'm saying, Givmore?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, great. I look forward to seeing you at the next BizTalk. Thank you. Thank you, mate.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's go to the next person. Let's talk to Jelani or Julio. Jelani, you really need to switch on your camera. Otherwise, you're not going to get a certificate, ma'am. Your camera should be on all the times. Otherwise, my administrators will not issue a certificate, Jelani. Are you there, Jelani?
Yes, sir. Actually, the camera is already open. It's kind of dark
all right.
here
Okay, that's all
already.
right. As long as it's open and I hear that, that's good enough. You'll get your
Yeah.
certificate. Tell me, Jelani, what's your question?
I don't have a question, sir, but I just wanted to share what I've learned about the
Go on.
diversity
Yes,
and the connection of productivity.
Yes, ma'am.
Because for the diversity, if you already learn the diversity and applied it to your business, you would able to make the company more strong, and you must have to be prepared to the increase of productivity anytime soon when the company is already increasing market and having other branches as well.
Wonderful, very good. I look forward to seeing you next week, Jelani. Thank you so much. Keep on smiling, all right? Take care. Thank you, Jelani. All right, let's talk to the next person. There's some students here that I need to call on. They've been very quiet. Amal, what have you learned about diversity? Go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, what have you learned about diversity?
We should not discriminate people because of their gender, race, religion, or their nationality.
Great.
And we should all be equal.
Right. And you understand why productivity will increase with diversity?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Let's go to the next student. Janri. Hi, Janri. Do you understand what I'm talking about when I refer to diversity, Janri? Are you there, Janri?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Has my lecture on diversity helped you today?
Yes.
Great, excellent. What have you
Yes,
learned?
sir.
Can you give me one point?
We learned that everything is equal when it comes out. Yeah.
Great, excellent. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you again soon. Beatrice Moyo, are you there, Beatrice? Hi, Beatrice. What have you learned about diversity today? Are you there, Beatrice?
Hi, Mr. Wally.
What have you learned about diversity, young lady?
Can you hear me?
Yes, of course I can. Beatrice, go ahead. What have you learned about diversity?
All right. Okay, I have learned today that diversity is crucial in any organization, and that we shouldn't discriminate against sex, sexual orientation, or religion, or ethnicity, and that it's important for us to encourage our organizations to be all-encompassing and embracing of everyone.
Sorry, hold on. Can somebody mute their microphone, please? Mute your microphones, please. Okay, go ahead again, ma'am. What did you say? Can you repeat your last sentence?
I think I said that we must teach our employees that they should be all-encompassing of everybody.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Just bear with me for a minute. Somebody has not muted their microphone. I'll mute all microphones. Once I've done that, can you unmute your microphone again, ma'am? Okay, go ahead. Can you unmute your microphone again, ma'am, and talk to me? I do apologize. Somebody was inconsiderate. Go ahead. Are you there? Hi. I'm sorry about that, Joan Marie. Okay, yes, it is important that you train your staff to learn about diversity, and it's important for them to understand what diversity is and how to deal with diversity. It's very important. Thank you. Okay, let's go on. Let's go to the next person. Let's go to, who's next? Who haven't I spoken to? Let's speak to Margie Gabolia. Hi, Margie, go ahead. Margie Gabolia. Unmute your microphone, please. Go ahead. Yes, Margie, go ahead. Can you unmute your microphone?
Hello,
Hi,
sir.
Margie. How are you today?
It's not quite good.
Why? What's wrong?
Still positive in COVID.
Young lady, you need to take care of yourself. Drink a lot of water. Are you on medication?
Okay, yeah. Yes.
Okay, take care of yourself and stay positive. Tell me, what have you learned through today's lesson about diversity?
I'm sorry, I have a question. Year 2010, when I was in Singapore, just curiosity, because last time I was in agency, which is, they said that I don't have a degree. That's why they cannot hire me as a translator.
Okay.
Is it discrimination?
Right. Do you think today's lesson has helped you understand more about diversity?
Yeah.
Great, excellent. I want you to make a speedy recovery, and I'll see you at the next leadership or BizTalk session. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, sir.
I pray for your speedy recovery. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, what we've covered today is diversity and the importance of diversity in increasing productivity for any business. Without diversity, not only will business productivity within the company suffer, but the company's brand and image will suffer once its customer base knows that the company does not practice diversity. How will they know? It will eventually get out through your competitors that you don't employ Muslims. It will eventually get out through your competitors or through an employment website that your company doesn't employ gay people, or will eventually get out that you don't employ women that wear scarves, or it will eventually get out that you said to someone they can't work for you because they have tattoos. All of those things will end up costing you more than what it's worth. People from diverse backgrounds bring diverse ideas, diverse skills, and help you increase productivity and company culture. You need to make sure that you go down the road of diversity. Stop discriminating, because with discrimination, you lose image, you lose brand, you get sued, and it will cost you more money than a company that practices diversity. When you diversify as far as your employees are concerned, that diversity will also carry through to your market, and it will help you attract more customers, or customers who are after your products and services, because now they feel that you welcome them based on the diversity, whether they're gay, transsexual, or homosexual, whether they're Muslim, French, Australian, Arabic, or Indian. You should not discriminate. So not only should diversity appeal to the workforce you have and be in practice inside your workforce and HR strategy, but it should also be something that you communicate to your customers, and that will help you attract more customers from different areas of diversity. Okay, does anybody have any questions before I go today? Anybody? Okay, I've got more questions here. Okay, Don Quave. Hi, Don Quave. What's your question? Go ahead, Don Quave.
Yeah, my question is, sometimes an individual will realize that he has a lot of talents to be able to deliver wheresoever he goes. But you get to realize that companies do some kind of discrimination by saying we want age group from maybe 25 to 30. But meanwhile, the person is around between 40 to 50 years, but he knows he can deliver. If it happens like that, what do you do as an individual so that the company can accept you?
Well, you know, Don Quave, any company that discriminates against age is basically putting itself out of the market, because if the public or the customer knows that they diversify against, or they are discriminating against age, then they will probably lose customers in that older age bracket. So if a company really wants to suffer, all they need is for people to go around saying that this company doesn't employ anybody over 48 or 49, and soon they won't have any customers in that age bracket. And what they do overlook that by having people from different age brackets, they will bring different experience and increase productivity. But this is something that the company has to do. And the only way they will learn to do that is if they suffer the consequences. So if you go to a place like Glassdoor and you put the company's name and write that this company discriminates against people over a certain age bracket, eventually the word will get out and they will lose marketplace. That's the only way they will change. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Thanks, Don Quave. We'll talk to you soon. My pleasure, sir. Okay, let's go on. Let's go to the next person here. I've got Victoria. Hi, Victoria. Can you unmute your microphone? Go ahead, Victoria. Unmute your microphone.
Hello, sir. Do you hear me?
Yeah, Victoria, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Today's lesson is like a reminder that everyone, regardless of who they are or what they do for the business, they are all important, because as you said, productivity will really increase if there are diverse people in the company, and it will also spell out inclusion and togetherness in a company.
Absolutely true. Thank you, Victoria. That's absolutely true. Thank you. I'll see you at the next session. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, let's go to the next person. Jelani. Hi, Jelani. I'll come back to you. Esther. Esther Cocker. Go ahead, Esther. Are you there, Esther? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
My question is that I want to ask if diversity only happens in a company, what about you're staying in a foreign country, they are refusing to rent you a house because you are a black?
Okay, so can you repeat that again, but slowly so I can hear you? I couldn't understand. You were
Okay.
speaking too
What I'm
fast.
saying,
Just say it slowly.
okay. Sorry, what I'm saying is that is diversity only happens in a company. What about if you are in a foreign country, which is not your country, your own country, and they are refusing to rent you a house, an apartment because you are a black?
Well, okay. Well, let me talk about different laws of different countries. Discrimination against someone for age, sex, color, or religion, as far as basic necessities and housing, is wrong. And that's something that the United Nations organization has told people. It's wrong to discriminate. Now, I do know in some parts of the world they discriminate if you're from a certain nationality and race, and that's unfortunate. And that has to change. And the only way that's going to change is through change of political power and change of governments, and young people like you getting involved in voicing their opinion, or becoming involved in politics, I guess, one day. But it's sad that that happens, Esther, and I know it does happen in some parts of the world. And all we can do is hope that these governments will eventually realize that it's wrong. But the more people talk about diversity, these governments will eventually have to change. Look at Saudi Arabia. Now women can drive. For the last 80 to 100 years, women have been banned from driving. Women were second-class citizens. They finally changed. Look at Iran. Iran, women were treated like garbage. Now, slowly, women are starting to be treated like individuals. It's still not as open as Saudi Arabia, but it's on its way there. So I hope in your country things will change as well, Esther. I really do. Thank you for sharing your ideas with me today. Talk to you again soon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's really been a privilege for me to be with you here for BizTalk today. It's really been an honor to have all these students listen to this guy talk about diversity. Diversity is something that we face every day in different industries and different companies. Look at the brands that you visit every day: Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Coca-Cola. They all practice diversity. That's what makes them multinational companies. That's what makes them successful. Ladies and gentlemen, diversity is not, excuse me, bless me, forgive me guys, I've got a cold. Diversity is not an option. Diversity is a must. Does everybody understand that? Can you all wave your hands if you understand? Thank you. Every time you look in the mirror, say to yourself, diversity is a must. I need to understand other people. What they look like, what their color or what their religion is should not make a difference. The only thing I should care about is their ability to do the job. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, from me, Wally Rauda here in Singapore, I thank you so much for being part of this BizTalk. To my co-host, Amala, is not here. Mr. Govind is representing Amala today. Amala is enjoying the long weekend with his beautiful young wife. Mr. Govind is here working, seeing he's single, and he's a workaholic like Wally. So me and him are the perfect team. We're both workaholics. It's great to work with you, Govind. It's great to see you smile. Govind, do you want to wave to all our students here and say thank you for them joining us today? It's our pleasure to have you here. Remember to visit us on social media. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are on YouTube at the Apex Stories. And if you really want to let me understand that you appreciate these sessions, I ask you, I tell you, I beg you, go to social media and leave me the thumbs up and a comment. Go to Facebook and send me a message on Facebook. Hi, Wally, I enjoyed your BizTalk on diversity today. Hi, Wally, I love your BizTalk. Can you consider talking about capitalism, or give me ideas about what you want me to talk about? I want to see 150 messages on social media. I want you to show me that you understand and you have learned something from my sessions. I want you to go to social media and tell other students that, you know, guys, why don't you study and join in the life of learning, why don't you continue your journey on the train of learning? Life is all about learning. Life is a journey, not just to live and get old, but it's a continuous journey to learn and become more successful. So if you really believe that BizTalk is helping you, as I know it is, if you really believe that your studies at Kingston International School through our domestic education program are helping you, please give me the thumbs up, because I also need motivation just like you do. All right. I love you all. And as an educator, as somebody who's passionate about seeing people grow and learn, I welcome you all. And I look forward to seeing you all at the next leadership series or at the next BizTalk series. I look forward to seeing you all graduate your diploma or postgraduate diploma courses that you are studying. I look forward to seeing you all recommend people to come and study with you. Thank you, everybody. From a wet day in Singapore where it's raining heavily on a Saturday, I wish you all a very good weekend. God bless you all. I love you all. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Thank you, Mr. Govind.